Hi, this is Kimberly Knox, KK, your astrologer, and welcome to my YouTube channel, What's in the Stars for You. This is where we talk about those larger planetary cycles that are unfolding and what they mean to you and planetary events. So this is my passion to share with you, to bring more knowledge, self-awareness, and ease with knowledge, because you know what's going on, especially when we're talking about Mercury retrograde, because most people fear Mercury retrograde a little bit, but I'm going to tell you why not to fear it, how to best deal with it, and why this Mercury retrograde is so potent and powerful. Well, I want to say I am grateful for all of you that subscribe to my YouTube channel, who share it, who leave me any comments, ask me any question, and I will help you out. So we are going to be taking care of Mercury retrograde now, and then we've got this really exciting new moon in Taurus coming up to talk about. We've got tons of retrograde planets already, as you know, from my last video. So why is Mercury retrograde such a stickler to us all? Well, that's because Mercury pretty much rules everything we do every day. Well, it does rule the day-to-day activity, but it rules commerce, it rules all transportation, it rules your day-to-day transportation, whether that's your car, bike, plane, train, any of that. Computers and technology. Okay, well, we're pretty much dependent now on our electronical devices, so don't be wary of all that going on. Any online communication, I'm going to give you tips on how not to get into trouble with all of this texting and emailing, all shippings and deliveries. So I had a shipment in my marketing business coming from overseas during Mercury retrograde. We couldn't get around it. It totally went sideways, and it took a lot of effort to get it back and get that delivery on time because it was stuck in the port for so long. That happens sometimes during Mercury retrograde until it goes direct, but honestly, I was sweating that one a big time. So you can have delays in shipping as well. It is prominent, if it's prominent in your chart and you are Mercury ruled, like Gemini's Mercury ruled, and so is Virgo. And Gemini tends to take on that lively, clever, making connections, kind of storytelling, great at public speaking, great at just being very quick and pulling things out of the back pocket when they need it, great in sales. But so it brings you all of these benefits and these characteristics that you can utilize. So you'll see great public speakers having, Venus in Gemini and things like that. But Mercury, so when it's prominent in your chart, it takes on that. But the sign that Mercury is in, since Mercury is the energy and it is our communication energy and how we communicate, the signs that it's in, it takes on the characteristics of that sign. So those signs, like Mercury in Aries, which it just came out of, was totally different. That's like taking charge, being bold, being quick, being brash. And then when it goes into Taurus, slows it down. We're looking at our finances, we're looking at our resources, but it's definitely slow in building because it goes from fire to earth. So you can see how you can reach out to me for a private success reading to see where your own Mercury is, but understanding your children's Mercury, that's really brilliant to know, because this talks about how do they speak, how do they learn, what is their temperament like on a daily basis, and what's going on. So these are brilliant things to understand. The negative things about Mercury, every sign, every planet has positives and negatives, so we like to keep it on the up and up. But when you're dealing with people, you need to look at their Mercuries and see what they're connected to, because lies, lots of stories, storytellers, critical. When you think about the panhandlers of old days, or the sleight of hand experts, those are definitely Mercury Gemini ruled people. Sarcasm, you're talking about argumentative, very sly, the swindlers, forgery, all of this stuff comes under Mercury ruled. So in mythology, astrology, mythology, they're all kind of, we learned in school all the mythological type of stories, which are fascinating. But the winged messenger, was the messenger of the gods. So this is Mercury, the messenger of the gods. And you'll see it's the messenger of our chart. It is the messenger for the sun, the center of the solar system, the father, the CEO. And when it goes retrograde, it's a little too far ahead and it's got to come back. Well, Mercury makes similar orbits between the Earth and the sun that Venus does. And that's why we're having a transit. I haven't heard anyone else talk about this, but it's really an astronomical event that they're going to be talking about. In particular, you have the whole 46 Lunar and Planetary Science Conference talking about this upcoming Mercury transit. And it's a timely opportunity for outreach involving their work with Messenger, which is the name of the orbiting unit out there collecting information on Mercury. So this is brilliant what's going on. It really is. Just a little note about what Mercury is. It is the second smallest planet next to Pluto, and yes, Pluto's still a planet, closest to the sun. Now, what they're amazed about is that they're finding Mercury has pockets of ice. Now, how can that happen when it's so close to the sun? They're also finding out that it's got magnetic fields around it that protect it. Now, even those magnetic fields are only about 1% of Earth's magnetic fields, it still has it. So we're learning all of this really neat stuff. And it's the second dense planet after the Earth. It has this huge metallic core. So all this interesting stuff coming out. It is a morning star, which they called Apollo in the ancient times. And it's an evening star, which they called Mercury. They knew it was the same thing just because of the orbits movement. But that's similar to Venus. So it's giving us information here on Earth. Just like when Venus gets close to us, it gives us information about love and beauty and how to save the planet. And during these transit times, it gives us information in a different way because it's in Taurus and Scorpio, which we'll get to. So it is the quickest planet out there. Its revolution around the sun is only 88 days, and it travels 112,000 miles per hour. Pretty cool, right? So it is the closest to Earth during this retrograde time, particularly on the day of what's called the inferior conjunction. That's when the Mercury meets with the sun. Now, during the transit time, this is orbital things. Mercury's orbit, the Earth, and the sun, they are in exact alignment. That's called a transit. It only happens occasionally, 13 to 14 times during a century. So this is big, 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 big. Why does Mercury appear to go backwards? It's called a retrograde, but it appears that way. And this is only because of the relative speed of the planets, of each of them, and their relative orbits. So it's just an appearance of it moving backwards. But it happens 3 times a year, and it's extremely significant time. And let's get on with this, because it's really exciting. So, what does it rule? Well, okay, it rules tons of things, and that's why it kind of throws a lot of, problems into the mix and gets us frustrated and annoyed. And add that on to look for Wednesday is ruled by Mercury. So any Wednesday, you might have these issues exacerbated, especially if there is a void moon on a retrograde Wednesday, which will be very interesting to see if there is a long one, and that will be May the 11th, by the way. And also probably just May the 11th is going to be the worst time. Well, there's also a void moon. So anyway, Wednesday's ruled by Mercury. So it rules signing agreements and any contracts. So you think about realtors and any type of people in business, but realtors are signing things. They're always trying to get contracts pushed through. So be relaxed and take notes of these times. It doesn't mean things aren't going to happen. It just means things may need to be renegotiated. But it rules classes, anything related with school, communication equipment. Okay, this is all your computer, your fax machines, your phones, your iPads, your eye tools, any electronic equipment, all of your household appliances. Hello, your cars and bicycles, trains, and planes. So all the stuff that you ride on a daily basis, any travel, any shipping, mail, transport. Okay, so if you're traveling, you need to have your plans in order, and just make sure your bags are tagged, and just, you just have to double check everything during this time to make sure all the information is noted down, because what it is not ideal for, so not ideal, because this is old stuff we're going to be dealing with during a retrograde time, not new stuff. So anything new that's relating with your advertising or social media type of plans, important decisions, you may need more information. You're especially going to get more information by May 9th, so don't panic if things come up during this time. Anything related for travel, not ideal. Purchases of any electronic high-end computer stuff, wait. You gotta wait. Just wait until after May 22nd on those big purchases, because, and especially cars, no cars either, equipment or cars, any appliances, anything that is run by, electronical type of components. It's components. Signing contracts, so they may need to be redone because things come up where you're, oh gosh, I can't get away from it. Okay, well, if you can at least postpone it until May 9th, you'll have the majority of the information you need, because there's also a new moon coming May 6th. Write these things down. Starting any important projects. Clean up the old, because old clients and old projects are going to come back to life, so you can kind of get on with them. Or old things come back so you can reevaluate them. You may decide, no, it's not for me. Old people might come back in, or relationships, so you just get to relook at things. People from the past come to assist you, so we get a chance to review things again. Any new enterprises, don't start, not during this time. And there's too many retrograde planets going on. We've got Mars retrograde, we've got Pluto retrograde during this time. Jupiter's going to go direct, but it's still retrograde during this start. So it's really an incubation, digesting time to slow it down, which Taurus likes to do, and review our stuff. Venus, like I told you, below the horizon. It's out of sight, which means we need to go inside and we need to power pack this value that we have, so we can really get ready. I'm going to give you those dates. This is really awesome time. This preparation time, and the last time this was happening was January 5th through, I think it was the 25th. I'll give you those dates. During that time, we were preparing, we were getting things sorted out, because things happen so quickly in the fall. So this is an excellent time to pretty much add RE in front of any verb, and you can pretty much get an idea of what it's a great time to do. Review and revise existing plans. Get your old business completed. Opportunities you've been waiting on, they come through. I've seen it 100 times with old clients coming back. Projects I thought were going to happen, I've been waiting on them. All of a sudden it comes up, the phone call comes. Especially on days when the moon is in an active sign, when the moon's in Aries, Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn. And you can connect with me on Instagram to see what's going on a daily basis. You're rethinking things. You're get your repairs done, because things break down all the time. I've seen somebody with all of their appliances broke down in their home. Hopefully it won't be that bad, but you get it done. My refrigerator broke down during one. So am my washer and dryer during that time. So listen, they were going to happen. It just comes up, so you can get it taken care of. You're revising, you're cleaning up old emails. Okay, here's the thing with email. When Mercury's really strong, things can go wrong in the communications. People can take things the wrong way. Don't use those capital letters in the wrong way in emails. Don't forward things that have stuff attached to it. Be careful sending text messages to the wrong people. Ouch. Especially if you got some stuff going on you don't want anyone else to know about. If you're hiding something, information's coming out. Sorry, that's what's going to happen. Old people, old plans, old projects, they come back. You get to put the goggles on and take a look and see if you really want them around anymore. Reconsider, or just move on for good. So this Mercury transit, what the heck is a transit? Well, it's just called a transit because it's transiting in front of the sun. And Mercury's so small, it's got to be magnified for us to see, but they're going to be playing this. You can get it somewhere on YouTube, I'm sure. It's going to be hard to see by the naked eye. You can see Venus, much bigger, closest planet to the Earth. That's why Venus, our sister planet. Mercury transit is happening May 9th, 2016. Huge, huge, huge. And it is rare. Like I said, only 13 to 14 times every century. When did it happen last? It was November the 8th, 2006. Think to yourself, what were you doing November the 8th, 2006? What was going on? Mercury was in Scorpio then. Mercury in Scorpio says, I want to get a real deep plan, and I'm looking at people I'm merging with. Partnerships. Are they good for me? Are they not? What's going on, during this time? So 2006, we're looking at those things. This is deep finances, debt that we own. So every Mercury transit is only in Taurus or Scorpio, because this exact alignment between Earth, Mercury's in between the Earth and the Sun, exact line planet mathematically, it only happens in May or November. And it can only, because of the way the transiting orbits and where they are. Very interesting, right? Taurus and Scorpio. So we're talking about values. We're talking about resources. We're talking about our truth in Taurus. And that's what's happening now. In Scorpio, we're talking about similar things. Merging with others on a deep value and a deep basis. And listen, if we don't have our value intact, we'll merge with anyone. So you either stand for something or you fall for anything, that kind of thing. And if you don't have your finance together in Taurus, or have that self-value to go out and make money, Scorpio, you've got your debt in a mess. So it's all of those things, and it is a business stuff, so it makes sense. Taurus and Scorpio is about the money that we have in business. Okay. The next one's going to be November the 11th, 2019. So in 3 years, we'll have another one. It's going to be in Scorpio. This is the messenger, NASA's mission to Mercury, to get a closer look at it and examine it. So we'll hear some information. They're finding out great stuff about what's going on the planet. And I believe it was set off in 2004 to better understand the planet. And this is really neat that it's happening now. Closest to the Earth. When Mercury is closest to the Earth, we get the strongest effect of the energy. Okay, this is all quantum physics, people. You can't see it, but it's there. All right? That's what ions are about. That's what energy is about. And deep down, that's what manifestation is about. The energy you think, you speak, you talk, that is the energy that you attract to you. So be careful what your thoughts are. That's what they say. And if you want to upgrade all of the people you are attracting into your life, you need to work on yourself and upgrade you. So if there's something wrong with who you're attracting, there's something wrong with you. You need to upgrade your thoughts and everything else. That's another thing Mercury can teach you. You are what you think you are, and that's the truth. So Mercury's rays are the strongest when they're felt during this retrograde time. This is great because we get this information that we need, so we should just be jacked about every Mercury retrograde period, because honestly, we need to get things sorted out because we're building some super important stuff. This is a fire monkey year. Monkeys make money, they're brilliant, they're shrewd, they're thoughtful, they're intelligent. This is a 9 year, so we're like completions, and also it is fire. So this is creative, this is energetic, this is bold, this is go forward. So don't you think we need to have our ducks in a row before we jump onto something, and before the eclipses come again in September? So yeah, for sure. And Mars is retrograde and Pluto is retrograde, 2 planets. Mars has us act on our own behalf. Well, we're not going to be acting on our own behalf for a little while because it's not going direct. And Pluto is a planet of power. We need to get the information so we have it together before we go forward. So this is super. So this next new moon that we're going to talk about, just so happens the rising sign is a Virgo. Okay, well, this rising sign ruler is Mercury. So the ruler of the next new moon is retrograde. So these time periods, we're going to get some important information. It goes direct right after the full moon. So by the full moon, this is really big, but so May 9th, this is your number one date to write down because of that whole, this lunation information. We're going to get a huge nugget on that day. And also Jupiter is going direct that day. Jupiter rules our protection, our expansion, and it's in Virgo. So Virgo wants us to do the work. We have the tools, do the work, get organized, get your space organized, get your health organized, get your routine down so that you are a lean, mean fighting machine. And I'm talking, you need to take responsibility for all of those things, not anyone else. So on the 22nd, huge day, Mercury stations. So this is when we have those problems with Mercury on station days because it's moving so slow, it's powerful. And the other time, May 9th, when it's closest to the Earth. But we also have Mars in full phase to the Sun. So you look across from the Sun, there's Mars on the same day it's stationing. So this is a really big day, the 22nd. If you're not happy with something, it's over. And watch getting into arguments, but whatever happened June 14th last year, it's at full phase now because that's when the Sun and Mars, they came together and we were starting something new. We know what it is now. We know what it is. We got all the information. We know where we want to go. We're taking action. Mars and Taurus, what is it? I already talked a little bit about it. It's our resources. It is our values. It is our truth. Truth is huge, all right? Let me just read this to you. When you stand firm in your value, you can't lie to yourself. We all know there's times when we start lying to ourselves, maybe because we're afraid to take action. But if you start to believe your own lies, you can no longer distinguish your own truth. And that's what this time is all about. That's what Aries wants for us. That's what Uranus and Aries wants for us. This is authenticity. This is our truth. This is what we've been dealing with, tearing down old structures so we can show our truth. This is refreshing because what we came to this earth for something. We're coming forth with that now. So this couldn't be more brilliant. The last Mercury retrograde, write this down, January 5th through the 25th, I was correct. That time, all of these are in earth signs, by the way. January got into Aquarius just barely, and it said, nope, you're not ready to go be unique and novel and to reach out to friends and get help. You got to go back to the drawing board in Capricorn and get things reorganized and so that and get your plan and your foundation together first. Earth sign we're building this year. Then we had the first new moon, the start of the monkey in February, the start of this powerful, new fire monkey Chinese year, which is huge. So April 28th through May 22nd, that is this Mercury retrograde, 14 degrees of Taurus to 24 degrees of Taurus. And the next one's going to be August 30th through September 21st. That gets to 29 degrees of Virgo. And it says, nope, we didn't do all the work yet. We didn't get the stuff sorted out yet. I've got to go all the way back to 15 degrees of Virgo and then go forward before we get into Libra with cooperation and relationships to help us go. So September is going to be another big month because we also have those eclipses starting at the end of September. We are building this year. All right, so Mercury goes into its shadow. Start writing these dates down. For April the 14th, it goes into its shadow. We're in the shadow period. That just means that we're going to be, this is in the ground that we're going over. So we're getting glimpses of things that we're probably looking at, looking around. Am I doing what I want to do? Did this person match my value? We're looking around and getting information now. So keep your eyes peeled because we're going to go over this stuff. The last aspect that Mercury makes before this retrograde period is the energy that it encapsulates and takes with it throughout the whole Mercury retrograde. That is Mercury trine Pluto. Hallelujah, couldn't it be better? That is super powerful. Two earth signs blending together saying, listen, you got the tools and the value and the resources, and you've got the power to go make stuff happen. in Capricorn. That's one serious make it happen sign. Ambition. So we're really going to be putting it together. And so Mercury station slows down April the 28th. That is next Thursday. Excuse me. Then we have the Mercury transit, that inferior conjunction meets with the sun. We get this brilliant aha moment. May the 9th. That day, Jupiter turns direct, the same day. So we're ready to move forward with stuff, and it's after the new moon, so we're moving on. Now we've got things sorted out. It's not fully together yet. What happens? May the 12th and 13th, fabulous days. Write these down. Pluto, again, trine Mercury, second time. So second time knocks on the door. We got more things together. The next day is the first quarter. We take action at first quarter. Something happens. Mercury is sitting there with Venus and Taurus. Money day. Money, and we've got things. We're speaking what our value is about. We're speaking what we want. This is fabulous. Okay? And then we've got an direct Mercury moving station to go direct on the 22nd. This is right after the full moon, and Sun is opposing Mars. Big, huge, huge day. May the 30th, 5-star for getting your contracts. Any contracts you have to finalize at that point, that's the day to get it done. 29th, 30th, you're getting this stuff done. You may have had to go over and change some things. That's a brilliant day. Sign stuff, for sure. Where's the sun on that day? Where's the moon on that day? And it's going into Aries in the evening. So yeah, we're taking off around that time. And then we have the aha moment with Venus. Okay, we're getting all this information at the same time. Venus is below the horizon. We need this information because we're gathering what we want. That's Venus. It's meeting with the sun on June the 6th. And we go, okay, now what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do with this golden nugget that you realize that that's what you want? That is your truth and your value. June the 7th, Mercury gets back to the place that it went retrograde. It sealed the deal. We've got the stuff sorted out. And then when we have this outcome, meaning this is when the sun meets with Mercury after retrograde, this is July the 6th. This is the outcome. And Mars that day is trining Venus. People, this is just lovely because Venus and Mars are their planetary pairs. Venus knows what she wants and Mars goes and gets it. You're on your way for success. I hope you've loved this Mercury retrograde information. Nothing to fear here. Write the days, notes down. Do the do's and take care of reorganizing something in your life and getting more information. It's powerful. Reach out to me at info@kkastrology.com for your personal success review and timing, because timing is everything. Have a brilliant night.